In today's video, we're continuing our coverage on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU. We have some breaking news. No, I can't do it. I tried. There is some pretty cool news out there. So, yo, what is freaking good YouTube voice you hear if you're on the right? Make sure subscribe to never miss any Marvel, DC, Kaiju, pop culture, Monsterverse-based content that I try to cover on a daily basis. Let me know, what do you think about all the Marvel news, rumors, and leaks going around at the moment? Let's have a conversation down below. Also, check us out on Instagram at WatchStudio to see the beautiful face by the beautiful voice. And if you could, check us out on Twitter, aka x.com. WatchStudio. Right, let's get into it. So, breaking story, not breaking news, because this ain't CNN, this ain't BBC News. Please we're using the word breaking, it really winds me up. Really exclusive. Michael Waldron has been tapped to write Marvel Studios' Avengers: The Kang's Dynasty. What does that tell you? It tells you the Kang storyline is not going anywhere, which tells you 99.9% recurring of the scoopers were wrong. Waldron had already been set to write Avengers: Secret Wars. What does this tell you? It tells you whatever he put forward to Kevin Feige was obviously lying. The installment would follow Avengers: The Kang's Dynasty, and we're now write both Avengers sequel. Now, this is very good. Why? Continuity for a concurrent storyline. Also, Michael Waldron gets a lot of hate. I don't know why. Multiverse of Madness literally had the whole movie reshot. Also, what is worth noting is, literally, he rewrote Multiverse of Madness 33 times, we found out. 33 times. And the movie was still cohesive. I think Multiverse of Madness is one of the best MCU movies we've had in a long time. And also, he penned a lot of the ideas and concepts that still happen in Loki Season 1 and Loki Season 2. I know a lot of people give Eric Williams all the credit for Loki Season 2. Now, there's a picture going around in it. If you look at the concepts on the picture, Michael Waldron was behind a lot of the concept for Loki Season 1, for Loki Season 2. The Multiverse of Madness movie was realistically the first multiversal movie. Michael Waldron knows what he's doing, and Kevin Feige obviously has a lot of faith in him, which is cool. So this means regardless, irrespective of what happens in the court case with Jonathan Majors, they are not ditching the Kang storyline. They're not ditching the Kang's dynasty. So at least we know now the multiversal setup with Kang is not going anywhere. Worst case scenario, they may have to recast him if the court case goes south, but we don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't talk about this stuff. So also in the news, apparently the writers for Avengers: Infinity War and Avengers: Endgame have been consulting for Avengers 5 and Avengers 6, which is interesting. This is kind of standard, but this kind of information generally doesn't get out. So there's lots of names being thrown out there at the moment for who should direct Avengers 5 and 6. I obviously believe whoever directs The Kang's Dynasty should direct Secret Wars. Whether that gets taken into 2 movies is neither here, just so it's more cohesive and it's more concurrent. And also, so whoever directs Secret Wars has already done Avengers: Kang's Dynasty, so it flows much nicer. Now, I know people are jumping on, bring the Russos back. Russos, irrespective and respectively, if you look at their work outside of what they've done with Infinity War and Endgame, they haven't really... I get hate for this. It's like when I say Shang-Chi isn't a very good movie. It's like when I say Deadpool 2 is pretty mid. Guys, I'm not going to sugarcoat stuff. I'm not going to be hyperbolic. I'm not going to overhype stuff just because it's Marvel. Sure, I like Marvel. Sure, I like DC. But I just give you my honest opinion. I don't really think the Russos should direct Avengers 5 and 6. Although they did a great job with Avengers: Infinity War, Avengers: Endgame was nowhere near the same level. So multiple directors have been linked to Avengers 5 and 6. Of course they have, because potentially it could be the biggest movie ever. Now, of course, Sam Raimi, or Sammy Raimi, as I love to call him, apparently Doctor Strange 3 is reportedly in development, yet Marvel Studios won't say anything. Yeah, they're not going to announce anything anymore because Marvel Studios always announce stuff way ahead. The studio wants Sam Raimi to return to direct, but he's also in consideration for Secret Wars. Source Daniel RPK. Now, the reason I think Daniel RPK is a little bit more respectable and has a little bit more validity than, say, the other scoopers, except for Alex Perez, is he has not paid for Twitter Blue. Yes, sure, bro. Understand, he has a Patreon, but he's not like 99% of the other Twitter scoopers who are making money off tweeting. Daniel tweets And, you know, it gets pretty high engagement, pretty high views, but he's not got Twitter Blue. So the fact he hasn't got Twitter Blue makes him a lot more credible. So if Daniel says he's in the mix, sure, he's in the mix, but being in the mix doesn't really mean that much, to be honest. Will Sam Raimi direct Avengers 5 and 6? I hope he doesn't, to be honest. I hope Sam Raimi does some kind of Spider-Man with Sony, or he does Doctor Strange 3. I don't really think he's... I know there's Sam Raimi super fans, and you're probably going to get triggered by what I say next, so please turn off the video now. I don't think he's good enough to direct both. I think this is who I really think should direct Avengers 5 and 6, but it's never gonna happen because he wouldn't do it, is Christopher freaking Nolan. Yeah, it's never gonna happen because comic book movies, he's already mastered that with the Nolan trilogy. And, you know, God tier with Oppenheimer. Christopher Nolan, Marvel couldn't afford him. Okay, technically they could, but I don't think he would do it, to be honest. That is my top pick. Christopher Nolan should direct Avengers 5 and 6, but the GOAT won't do it. There's no chance. So likewise, guys, let me know, who do you think should direct Avengers 5 and 6? Now, the Sam Raimi rumor has been going around the internet for a minute, and I believe, like the same person is writing Avengers 5 and 6, the same person should direct Avengers 5 and 6. So, recently, Thor 5 has come into the news again. It's interesting seeing as Chris Hemsworth said he wasn't really up for it, said he's recently had a lot of personal health scares, and he said the tone would have to be dramatically different after they made a mockery in Thor Love and Thunder. Even though they had the Gore, the God Butcherer, which could have tied back to the symbiote god, they really took a big L there, but I guess technically that's to do with Sony. So Marvel Studios have reported he wants Thor 5 to have a darker tone in comparison to the last two films. Now, Thor Ragnarok is one of Marvel's best studios movies ever, in my opinion. It's just there was too many jokes in Thor Love and Thunder. They are currently looking for a director with a more serious work. Gareth Edwards is one of the directors they're looking at for the 5th installment. The fact that Thor's getting a 5th movie is pretty interesting. Now, Thor Love and Thunder still grossed took at the cinema over $750 million, which is still pretty impressive, but some people think that flopped. Now, Gareth Edwards is he's fine. I don't think he's that good personally, but it's not up to me. But for sure, it's good to know if the information going around is true. Let's hypothetically speak like it's true. Yeah, more serious tone. You can have jokes here and there if they're actually, you know, adding to the story or, you know, adding to context or something like that. You don't need to throw a bunch of jokes in out of nowhere for no reason. Oh, wait, that's Peacemaker. Wrong movie. So you've probably seen a lot of Agatha, Darkhold Madness, Agatha, Darkhold Diaries, because they keep changing the name like 10 times. So eventually, I presume that will come out. I don't really think people care for Disney Plus shows, if I'm honest, because Miss Marvel getting season 2 allegedly in talks. Personally, I think they should scrap all the Disney Plus Marvel shows. Loki season 2 doesn't really need another season. WandaVision was cool. The Falcon Winter Soldier one was awful. Secret Invasion, awful. We don't actually need any Disney Plus shows, but I get it. Content is king. Just look at Netflix. Yeah, but Netflix does it in a certain way. They need to go back to the board and look at the Netflix model, because Disney Plus, you may have the subscribers, but you're hemorrhaging them at a massive loss pretty fast. So, also in the news, it's not really news, but it's going around there. Your boy Warstew said Cillian Murphy should be Doctor Doom years ago, and one of the alleged scoopers I say, Cillian Murphy is Marvel's top choice to play Doctor Doom. Now, respectfully, when someone comes out and says it's their top choice, you're never really going to know if that's the truth. It's the same with Rickman saying that Sam Raimi is their top choice or is being considered. It's not really factual news. That's why it's kind of weird when they say it. And same sentence, they're going to cast Doctor Doom soon, allegedly, but he's not going to appear in the Fantastic Four movie. So I disagree. I think if they are going to cast him soon, my boy Cillian Murphy's also said, if the script is not very good, he ain't touching it, because he was Scarecrow, he was Mr. Oppenheimer, he was Mr. Tommy Shelby. He's never really done projects that are so will they get him into a Marvel movie? Only if the Doctor Doom stuff is written insanely well to a high level. Will you get an actor on his level? Sure, if you want to get a nobody to be Doctor Doom, go ahead, but you ain't getting Cillian Murphy unless the script, unless the vision for Doctor Doom is absolutely freaking fire. Now, the Twitter scoopers are going back and forth. So apparently She-Hulk season 2 is getting done. Moon Knight season 2 is getting done. And then I read another Twitter scooper like, no, it's not. Just scrap all the Disney Plus shows. No one freaking cares for them. Not even close. There's been so much news recently that it's not even news. Eternals 2, no one cares. We don't need it. Although, I mean, it could be interesting. Doctor Strange 3, cool. We kind of need that because of the ending with Clea and the Dark Dimension. Black Panther 3, not needed to phase 6. Thor 5. I mean, a Thor movie is really needed because everyone loves Thor. Thor is the kind of character you can rely on. So is Doctor Strange. Black Panther, that could wait to phase 6. Eternals 2, I mean, if they're going to do the Galactus storyline or the Judgment, you have been judged. I mean, interesting. Shang-Chi 2 is eyeing up production begin date 2024, 2025, soon as they've not officially confirmed it. And also, no one cares for Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi 1 was awful. I get so much hate when I say that, and someone on Twitter's like, yo, you're only saying that to get views and clicks. I don't have Twitter Blue, so you literally have no argument there. Spider-Man 4, Shang-Chi 2, Fantastic Four, Deadpool 3 are expected to set up the groundwork for Avengers Secret War. Literally every movie is going to do that. Spider-Man should be more level grounded after we had the multiversal concept in the last movie. Having Spider-Man 4 be about the multiverse will excite people because the Marvel fans just want cameos and multiversal stuff for no reason. It's not hard to make a Marvel movie that bangs, just throw a bunch of cameos in. Then you get the TikTokers going mad for no reason. Oh my God, Ghost Rider's going to appear for 20 seconds. Yeah, what's your point? It's interesting. So, like always, check us out on Instagram at Wall Street to see the Beautiful Voice button, the Beautiful Voice. Check us out on Twitter, H2G or X.com. And I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.